Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be the worst makeup of the year. These are products that I tried this year that were just not my favorite. Now, some of these are like, okay, I can make them work. A few of these were a bit more on the terrible side. I don't really want to have to give the obvious disclaimer that, obviously this is just my experience. Everyone has different preferences. I think you guys get that. And I actually find these videos helpful because someone will say sometimes, oh, this foundation didn't work for me because I have super dry skin, but I personally have more combo skin. So sometimes, that foundation may actually be something that will work for me. So personally, I find these videos helpful. And yeah, I only have 6 products to talk about because I was on a low buy and I was very careful with my purchases throughout the year. So really not bad. I can't complain. Let us know what are the worst products that you tried this year, and let's get started. Alrighty, let's start with one that I really don't like, which is very sad because this was expensive and this is something I've wanted to try for a long time, and that is this NARS foundation. This is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. So I have combination skin and I thought, long wear, that would be great. I was very excited, and this is expensive. This is like $49. The shade match is really good though. I got the shade Gobi and I feel like it matches me really well. My issue is this is so not flattering on my skin. It's so dry, it's so cakey. Even if I only put on a little bit, within a few hours, my lines just look so much worse than they actually are. I feel like it makes me look way more wrinkled than I am. And so I can make this work by mixing it in with liquid highlighter or a more dewy foundation. And so I am going to keep this. This is something I plan on putting in a project pan at some point because I do want to finish it. And I plan on mixing it in with other more luminous foundations to, I don't know, just kind of make it a little bit better for my skin. But honestly, even when I do that, it still just settles terribly into lines, even with pore filling primer underneath. This is a big disappointment. Like I said, I've wanted to try this foundation for a long time. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to make it work, mixing it in with other things, but on its own, it just looks awful on me. It really does. And I've worn it like for 10 hours. And by the end of the day, my forehead lines look crazy awful. Big disappointment, and that doesn't happen with my other foundations. My other foundations at the 10-hour mark, they're obviously going to settle a little bit into my lines. That's normal, but this, no, not flattering, but I'm gonna keep it, and yes, I'm gonna just mix it in with other things. There is only one thing on this list that I have decluttered, and that was the Believe Beauty Glimmer Pot eyeshadow. And this was about $4 to $5. I tried a lot of stuff from Believe Beauty this year that I loved. I love their mascara, their foundation, their powder, blush, their primer. Fantastic. But this glimmer pot, and it actually was beautiful. It was a copper color and it was stunning. The problem was that no matter what I did, it creased terribly on me. And I even put on my Milani eye primer underneath. Now, I have oily eyelids and I have lines on my eyes. So I think other people who don't have those problems, this probably would work out for them, but I used different eye primers underneath. I put on a small amount. I used a brush. I used my finger. I tried this at least 5 times and it creased terribly. And it didn't just like crease a little bit. It would crease like all of my eyeshadows. So this was just something I couldn't make work. I don't want to walk around with creased eyeshadow. I have some amazing eyeshadows in my collection. And like I said, if I use the Milani eye primer, I do not have that problem. So yeah, this is the only thing on the list that I did actually declutter. Okay, let's talk about something that this was not terrible by any means. It was just more of a disappointment for me. This year I tried quite a bit of cream blush. I got really into cream products. This was just so in my opinion. This is the Maybelline Cheek Heat Sheer Gel Cream Blush, that's so hard to say, in the shade Coral Ember. And this I actually pulled out of my empties. I finished this blush. The reason I don't really like it though is that it's not that pigmented, but it says that. So I guess this is my fault because it's called Sheer Gel Cream Blush. But I thought it was too sheer. Like, I don't mind like a semi-sheer cream product. I guess this is more of a preferences thing, but I just felt like this really lacked pigmentation and I had to use quite a bit. And also there was a lot of air in this tube and I used it up pretty quickly. I mean, I used this up within a couple of months, which, I mean, it was only $7 or $8 at the drugstore, but still, I don't know. So this was definitely not terrible by any means. Obviously I used it, I liked it, but compared to all of my other cream blushes that I have and that I tried this year and last year, I just like the other ones so much more than this one. Okay, let's talk about something else that I actually did use up, but this I'm gonna put in the category of this is actually terrible. I really hated this. This is the Becca Ignite Liquid Highlighter. Now, obviously, Becca went out of business. They're not even around. They don't sell this product anymore. They did save some of the Becca products and are selling them at Smashbox. So a few of the highlighters and then the color correctors. I think that's all that they're still selling though, which is a bummer because that purple primer from Becca, I loved that. That was actually one of my favorite primers. If they were still selling that, I would absolutely purchase that. But this, whew, okay, so this was a liquid highlighter. Like I said, I did use this up, but it wasn't cute. This is shimmery and like metallic. And I'm more into a subtle highlighter these days, and I just found it to be not flattering. So I ended up mixing it in with foundation, and it was okay that way. You couldn't really see the shimmers, but it still wasn't amazing. I've tried a lot of other liquid highlighters that I absolutely love, and this was just not it. It also had a terrible scent. It smelled really intense. It was like kind of fruity-ish. I didn't like it. The scent was terrible. It was too glittery. It wasn't flattering. I mean, like I said, I used this up, but yeah, I'm glad that this is gone, and I guess I don't mind that they're not selling it anymore because it was awful. All right, I have two things left to talk about, and both of these are actually, they're okay products. I'm not gonna declutter them. I'm gonna use them. They just weren't what I wanted them to be. So first up is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation Full Coverage Moisturizer with SPF 50. I've heard really, really good things about this. I bought it at the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty for 50% off. And I heard good things. I was very excited. I have the shade Light. I feel like it matches me pretty well. The problem is this is kind of like the opposite of the NARS foundation because like I said, I have combo skin, but this is just so not long lasting, like at all. It breaks down very quickly on my skin. However, combining these, I don't know if I've actually combined them together, but that's what I plan on trying actually, because this is like super dry and cakey, whereas this is just no lasting power. So this, when I first put it on, it looks nice. It does. It's got, you know, good coverage. It's a bit luminous. It's very pretty. But even with different primers, setting powders, I can't get this to last more than like 2 hours. So yeah, and it breaks down like really bad, like around the center of my face. And I mean, part of that may be because, yeah, I mean, I'm still wearing a face mask like every day, but I mean, I have other foundations, Estee Lauder Double Wear. I can wear that all day with a face mask on. Still looks good at the end of the day. Yeah, that's impressive. And I have other foundations too that still look good at the end of the day, or at least look decent. This, no, it like half disappears off my face. So lasting power is not good. But again, this is something I'm going to make work. I'm going to keep it. And I'm just gonna mix it in with some long wearing foundations, and maybe this will be a good combo. I don't think I've tried it. I can't remember. I don't think I did, but I think I'm hoping this will kind of like make both of these better if I mix them together, but I definitely wouldn't repurchase these. I mean, full price, this is like $40, and yeah, the NARS foundation is so expensive, $49. That's so crazy expensive. That's more than Estee Lauder Double Wear. Anyway, yeah, not great for me. Alrighty, and last up, this is a pretty hyped up product in the last year. And I will say this is not one that's terrible, but I just don't love it. And sadly, that is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I was really excited. Like I said, I was super into trying cream products this year. I was thrilled about that. I guess my issue with this is it's just not very pigmented and it's just kind of sheer and it takes a lot of building. I got the shade Tan Lines and I feel like this is a good color for my skin tone. I feel like they have a decent range on these. You can see like I was like really trying to like dig my finger in there. Like I just feel like I have to put a lot of product on and then it still is a bit sheer. So, I mean, it's not terrible, but I bought the Fenty cream bronzer this year in the shade Macchiato. And that one, I can just like put a little bit on, blend it out. It blends out easily, but it's pigmented. I can see it. It's there. This, I feel like I'm building it up, building it up, building it up, and it just kind of disappears. I like to blend out cream bronzer with a sponge. And I tried this with a brush also. You get a little bit more pigment with a brush, but not by a lot. I mean, I think blending it out with a sponge, you lose a little bit more pigmentation than with a brush, but still, even with the brush, it doesn't have the pigmentation I want. Other than that, it's fine. So I'm gonna keep this because I can build it up to make it work. But when I compare it to the Fenty one, now the Fenty is more expensive, but here's the thing, I judge makeup by its performance, how it works for me. I don't really care if I spent, this is $6, or if I spent 20 something or $50. I just expect something to work because I love e.l.f. e.l.f. is one of my favorite brands. I have some products from e.l.f. like their foundation, the concealer that are amazing. They're $6 or $7, but they perform fantastic. So I know that e.l.f. can make really good products because it's one of my favorite brands. I'm just someone who I like a bit more pigment. I don't like extremely subtle makeup. I mean, that's kind of like with this one too. I think people that like a very subtle look would really enjoy both of these products, but I want a little bit more pigmentation. I like my makeup to be a bit more on the bold side. So yeah, this is more just like a personal preference type thing. These two were terrible. Oh my gosh, just not good, but it's what it is. And the Believe Beauty Shadow was pretty, but it creased so bad on me. So yeah, that's it for this video though. Like I said, I was very careful with my purchases on my low buy this year. I love everything else I bought. So I am very happy that I did a low buy because it makes me think about my purchases beforehand. You know, and I did think about these. I just didn't really know that they weren't going to work out for me, and it happens sometimes. So that is it for this video. Let us know what products disappointed you this year. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.